Do you like basketball? Basketball, no. Mm-hmm. I like, but I'm not good at. Yes, I'm not.
Me too.
Hello, everybody. Welcome back to the State of the League podcast, the only NBA podcast beginning with a somber tone. Zion Williamson, some pretty serious allegations just came out. I didn't even... Oh, wait. Am I on my correct microphone right now?
Yeah.
Oh, it says I'm not on here, but hey, whatever. As long as it sounds good, I don't care. Yeah, pretty upsetting Zion news like an hour ago. I didn't even know about it. I was ready to have so much fun on this episode, and now it's just like, oh yeah, that's a terrible crime that he's been accused of. I don't know what I'm allowed to say on YouTube either. How TikTok pilled is like the YouTube audio stuff.
I told you before, the TikTok stuff is all fake. I say whatever I want. They never take it down.
Okay. I was worried. Maybe it's just because it wasn't funny, but we said kill a bunch in the last clips that I posted, and those only got like it felt like the views were kind of capped there. Like it had 0 views for a long time, and then I think it finished with like 1,000 or something.
I don't know, because I have some big ones where I say kill. I have a recent scouting report on Danny Wolf where I say, would you draft a Nazi? And then
I know that was a good opening.
I got a DM from a real Nazi who was upset that I said a Jew was a Nazi, and so he said, "Don't ever lump that K word in with us, or I'll kill you," or something like that. I don't know. I don't know if he did a death threat. Well,
you can say that. Wait. Well, I mean, you say whatever you want. I was just saying, you
don't
can't
tell
say the
me.
K word. Hey. Another white man speaking up for...
But also, like, there was the one message I could see, and then there was one above and below that said, this is censored.
This is censored. So whoa, what could these have had?
Yeah, I was like, do I really... Should I really tap in? I don't know. Because what if he just, like, dropped my address right there? It's probably better.
That would be scary.
It's probably better I don't.
Know.
Yeah. Rather get jumped in the alley.
One of my favorite DMs I've ever, like hate DMs I've ever gotten, is a guy, when I was posting a lot about Palestine, he just signed my Jokic joestar email up for like 50 Israel newsletters.
Oh my God.
And he DM'd me. He was like, enjoy the literature, bitch, or something like that. And I was like, honestly... You got me. Like that's like to this day I still get like the Hershevitz Times or something pops up and I'm like, stop sending me this, please.
Are you able to block like the keyword Israel?
Well, I mean, I think I block every time one comes up, but like I don't know, it's just like a new one comes, and so maybe he's like consistently been adding to it or what. I don't know.
One time a while ago, I did a video about the Zoe 101 backpack episode, and the actress... I don't
remember that much about the backpack episode. What was that?
Well, so it's an episode where it essentially becomes a competition of they're selling the coolest backpacks in the world in 2005.
Backpack.
Like, they have an MP3 player, they have a fan, they're decorated in... the way a teenage girl in 2005 would decorate a backpack.
Wow.
It was crazy.
So it's crazy. Like, that's the height of technology. I could get that at Walgreens for like $10 today with a full MP3 and a fan in it.
Well, I don't know. Because they also, like, there was no way they were inventing it. Because they also had, like, back massager in it. It was crazy.
Oh.
But Mindy from Drake and Josh?
Yeah.
She was in that episode, and she wasn't Mindy, she was Stacy. But I forgot her name, and so I referred to her as Mindy until like later in the video. I was like, "Oh yeah, it's Stacy. He's just Stacy." But some guy made a video replying to it, and he's like, "It makes me so mad when people call her Mindy when she's obviously Stacy in the episode. It's not even funny. And he went on for like minutes about how mad he was. And I'm like, I just said later on.
I never got that. The whole Mindy thing where like in Drake and Josh Josh, who's supposed to be this fucking loser, like no emotion whatsoever.
Well, she was too.
Yeah, but like how? She's obviously a beautiful. Like how big of a bitch could she be? That like nobody. She was a very beautiful person, and so.
But he lost weight by the time they dated, so he was.
That's not even what I'm addressing here. It's fine. Like even if he was fat the whole time, still would have been based if they got together. I don't care. It's just like she was. I hate when media does that, where it's like, oh, this pig. I mean, who could be in love with her? Because I just watched The Departed, and they do this to a way worse degree with Matt Damon is like the handsome guy, which like obviously Matt Damon's a very classically handsome looking dude. They try to make you believe that Leonardo DiCaprio is like an ugly guy who women won't even look twice at, and it doesn't ruin the movie or anything because he does a very good job of being like kind of scary and like tweaking out and stuff, but it's like there's this opening scene where the secretary's like, oh my god, Matt Damon, hi, what are you doing later? And then Leonardo DiCaprio walks in and she's like, yep, Captain will see you now, ugly fuck, get away from me.
Is he just standard Leo?
He's got a shaved head and like a goatee.
Okay. That Mindy, I feel like Mindy, it didn't ruin the immersion because what's it called? Because Josh did lose all the weight, so he was probably the hottest nerd at the school. And then what's it called? She also was like very mean. She was like
she was
very
quite,
aggressive to everybody. So it's if you're mean, then I get it. There was
everybody in this universe is like, have you ever seen Shallow Hal?
No.
Oh my god, you have got to watch it. It's the most like 2000 slop-pilled movie of all time. It's terrible. It's starring Jack Black, and he gets hypnotized into seeing people for their true selves. And so he's like a super misogynistic asshole before he gets hypnotized, and he like never looks twice at like big women or whatever. But then he falls in love with Gwyneth Paltrow, who secretly, no hypnosis, is like a 600-pound lady. And so if I ever say Shallow Hal, that means I'm seeing someone for their true selves inside. And so in this universe, even though Mindy, very beautiful, everyone's been hypnotized, she's probably hideous because her personality is so bad.
There was another person in Drake and Josh who, because Drake is like famous ladies man, right? And he has a new girlfriend every episode.
Yes.
There was one episode centered around a girl that I was so confused about when I was a kid because she looked like a straight up nerd. Like she just looked like like even more nerdy than Mindy. And I was like, really? This
is who Drake's into? Okay.
Yeah, come on, Drake. What are you up to?
Am I misremembering this where there's one where like Drake kisses a girl in the theater. He's like, I just won a contest, and he kisses her. And Josh also won the contest, and he goes up and kisses a random girl. And it's like a really transphobic. The girl goes, thanks, stud, or something. Like it's like
yeah.
I have like a specific memory of that, but I might just straight up be making it
No, that
up.
is real. I do remember that too.
That just came flooding back to me. Damn. Dan, that's the worst thing Dan Schneider's ever done.
What about when Josh put on an afro for his disguise in the 70s? Nah, see, my name is Antoine.
Oh, that's so fucking stupid. I like one of my favorite episodes of Cowboy Bebop. They get in disguises to go catch some, like, I think the universe's equivalent of the Unabomber, I'm pretty sure. And Jet, he dresses up like a hippie, but no afro, just all like peace signs and like smoking weed and stuff.
Well, I saw some girl post a video about like on TikTok. She's like, some guy came up and told me she was making fun of guys at bars who come up and give compliments and then just walk away. And then like, hey, I just want you to know I'm not hitting on you, but you have your pants are really cool, and then they walk away. And then this in the comments, they're like, this was the Drake and Josh method. This is what his mom was teaching Josh in that one episode. They're like, dang, they patched it. It doesn't work anymore.
They patched it.
Do you remember?
Mid-2000s, that must have been just like an aura move, being like, yep, I'll talk to you later.
Do you remember he was like, those are really cool shoes, and then he walked away. He said, those are really cool shoes. She's like, yeah, whatever. And then he's like, okay. And then he walked away, and she stopped. She's like, wait, you're not gonna ask for my number?
Hell?
He's like, no, I just thought those were really cool shoes. And then then she gets his number.
Wow. I don't remember that one specifically, but that's a very 2000s plot line for sure.
Do you remember when he accidentally Josh was watching a kung fu movie and he was doing a move and he accidentally punched Drake in the eye, and then he was cool because he beat up Drake. And then at the end like the he had to come clean because Drake was making fun of the nerd's sister, Eric's sister. He's like, she's got more hair than a gorilla. And then they're like, Josh,
what the hell, Drake?
Josh, beat him up, or something like that. But then Josh had to come clean that he couldn't. He's not actually a fighter, and he was showing them. He's like, I was doing the Wuju fist of, and then he did it, and he hit a girl walking behind him. And they're like, you just hit a girl, jerk.
Jerk? He lost all the cred.
Yeah, then they weren't friends with him anymore.
I will say, one of the straight up funniest TV plots of all time for me is the two nerds being in charge of their dementia grandpa as he guerrilla warfares them through the house. USA. I remember being a kid and pissing myself laughing at that. That was so fucking good. That was, I don't know.
They had some genius episodes on that.
Nickelodeon, it feels like they strayed away from the live action stuff. They were a good bridge between the Cartoon Network, obviously, we're full cartoon pilled, and then Disney Channel, they got Kim Possible and stuff, I guess. But to me, they're carried by live action. And Nick was a good balance, but as they went on, I guess
really, it was the tortured genius, Dan Schneider, pedophile evil man, a maestro at making television.
A maestro, God damn it, this son of a bitch. His weird, and that is the other part of it is even in real time. As a complete oblivious child, all of the moments that look bad in retrospect, super weird while they were happening. I never even let out a blow of air through my nose at some of the shit where it's Ariana Grande's I need to put whipped cream all over my feet right now because that's funny or something. I don't know. That was always strange to me.
I didn't notice it. I was like, that must be what teenagers are like. Dang, that's cool. That's cool teenager stuff. But every now and then I'll get a Victorious clip that pops up, and I'm like, how was that allowed? Someone eating a pickle and applying lip gloss. And I'm like, okay, well, that must have been a crazy day on set.
Yeah, that was such a sexually charged show. When I was growing up, all the girls on that show, I was like, yo, I gotta turn this off. I cannot handle myself right now. Shout out to Jade. Oh my god, shout out to Jade. And shout out to everybody. Everyone on that show, even the nerd, Robbie. Not even close to
that was another one where they try and make you think Trina's ugly.
Yeah, it's dude. And she, again, back to Shallow Hal. If everyone's Shallow Hal in this universe, then she probably is ugly because she's super annoying. But yeah, obviously.
Oh, and do you know that there's a side plot line that their mom is cheating on the dad with his partner their dad is a cop in the show, and
that she's cheating.
There's just with his partner, so another cop.
Maybe he's on. Nah, there's hard to work your way out of that, I guess.
There's just little moments where it's who are you texting? And their mom is smiling. She's like, Gary, and then they're like, Dad's partner? She's like, yeah. and then it's what are you talking about? And it'll be like, Nothing. It's
Nothing.
crazy.
You pan around, it's size. It's like the old person size 75 text in
Oh.
the iMessages.
Oh, I
just-
love those. Have you seen that at like a baseball game? Some
yeah,
guy-
where he's
Yeah.
like, I'm so fucking hard right now. It's like, dude, it's the 5th inning. You still have to go through half a game. You're getting shots off like this.
There's one where it's like, have a great time, bitch. He's like, I love you, bitch. It's like an 80-year-old man.
Oh, to be an old person. Oh my God, it's fucked up. God, I wish I was born early. Like, life has just been so easy for people who are old right now. The whole way through. You get born,
Well, it depends. Did they get lead
you
in them?
huff some leaded gas, I guess. But, like, even then, you get some lead, so you have, like, anger management problems. You're, like, a borderline psycho. But
yeah, but that ruins everything.
But there's not really any consequences for that for, like, the next 30 years. You could do mostly whatever you want.
Yeah, but like you go through the Wendy's drive-through and they forget one of your 4-piece nuggets, and that's your week. The like ruins everything for you. You're calling.
Well, yeah,
you're
but
trying
you
to
can
get
like
people
call
fired.
and get them fired. Yeah,
yeah,
like,
but I don't even know if that's
but in the
satisfying.
90s you could do it. You could do it. In the 90s you could be like, "Hey, execute this 16-year-old," and the manager would be like, "Okay, sorry, we forgot your nuggets, sir."
The customer's
and they would
always
do it.
right.
Exactly.
Right to it, sir.
Yeah, and so. Yeah, so you get lead, you get to be a psycho, you get to go to college for $100, you get to own a home, and then you just get to kind of like pretend like everyone complaining now is a baby and there's actually nothing wrong. And so and you got to see the 90s Bulls run would have been, although if you weren't a Bulls fan, it was probably pretty annoying, I guess.
But everyone was a Jordan fan back then.
Yeah. Oh, the Jordan run of like aura farming and stuff. Oh my God.
Do you think, will you be defensive about like Jokic? Because they'll definitely be like, this big fatty was wrecking everyone. That's embarrassing.
I've thought about this. It's easy to say it now, but like I don't think I will be. I think moving forward, for me, the phrase basketball right now is the best it's ever been as far as talent goes. That will always be right.
Yeah.
So like that, as long as
unless
you
there's a
remind
war.
yeah,
they
I
all
mean,
get
truly.
drafted.
Like unless all of the development coaches get snapped out of existence one day and we lose all of the recipes for like, how to make your all this stuff, I think basketball would just be better.
They invent a microplastics vaccine for babies, so there's a whole generation born with none in there, and it's like,
is that good or bad for
well,
basketball?
that's good for them because they're like, come on, dude, they're playing plastic guys. We have no plastic in here at all.
Guys.
Wait, who
Plastic Man?
How far back does it go?
Microplastics?
Like, did Jordan have microplastics in his ball?
No, I think microplastics is like, I mean, speaking as someone who's never read anything about them, how I understand it is like long-term accumulation of plastic garbage in the environment has like led to it kind of like worming its way into every part of our, ecosystem food chain, top to bottom. And so I think in Jordan's moment, not enough plastic waste had like accrued on the earth for it to really start popping off. I could be wrong there, but I don't know.
He's definitely got it now, because there's like, I just saw another report where it's like they tried to find someone with no microplastics for a sample, couldn't do it. 100% people have
the
microplastics.
last World War II veteran, he's 30% microplastics. He's been chewing all the candy wrappers that you give him for the last 10 years.
We got to abduct a North Sentinelese islander, and hey, maybe it even got in their water.
Maybe
Who knows?
probably has.
But yeah, maybe the post microplastics generation, they have a fungi, a helpful fungi inserted into their bloodstream. They're gonna be way better than us. Than us. Me and LeBron. Yeah, LeBron,
yeah.
and Jokic, they'll be better than us.
My peers. Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Did you see the video of OG talking about Kenny Smith's dunk?
No, I didn't see it. Okay. Sorry, I thought you meant OG Ananobi. Yes,
No,
I
no.
saw where he's like, I saw, and the way he describes it,
Yeah.
it's like he saw a different thing, like because he's like,
Well, it is accurate.
I saw Kenny Smith go between his legs 30 feet in the air, off the backboard to himself, blindfolded upside down in 1993, and then they play the clip, and it's like. If the Harlem Globetrotters did this, I would ask for my money back. This is not impressive.
There's a kid at every high school who could do that, and probably most middle schools. I don't know.
I don't know about every middle. Does every middle school have a player who could dunk right now? That seems a bit much.
My middle school might have been a powerhouse, so I can't relate to you. He said, what did he say? He said, behind or between the legs, backwards, off the backboard to himself. 360 or not even 360?
I think it was just. I think cut it off before
Spin.
360 is about what he said.
It's crazy.
But yeah, like it's not a good dunk. And like half of the stuff he describes there is not athletic based. Like I could bounce the basketball through my legs up off the backboard. The rest of it, absolutely, I'll never be able to do. But like most people could bounce a basketball the way that Kenny Smith had to do that dunk.
Yeah, not a huge skill feat. I wonder. I don't know. He wasn't that athletic, right? In the half court, like I feel like he wasn't.
No, it's a terrible pick. I feel like where
like you have Dominique, you have Jordan, you have Dr. J.
That's the thing about like it feels like old heads or whatever we want to like older fans obsessed with athleticism in the smallest possible package. Like old fans,
Spud Webb.
Yeah, like that's so impressive that Spud Webb was doing that at like 5 foot whatever, and it is. But to me, we should be going off Dominique Wilkins, really, or like Sean Kemp or somebody like those guys, or Charles Barkley. I like guys who are enormous and also jumping just as high as those other guys and running as fast or whatever.
I'll be an old man telling people there was this guy, 300 pounds, 6'7", ate nothing but Doritos. He assaulted women nonstop, but God couldn't jump.
He had one move, his left hand.
God, he had no right hand. They're thinking he's a one-armed guy.
He had no right hand. He averaged 27 points per game.
He's named after a terrorist idea.
Yeah, I mean, truly, we should have seen that coming with a name like that. I can't believe it. Yeah,
if he just had a different name, what's a good movement?
Bethlehem Williamson.
Jerusalem Williamson.
I was watching a good YouTube video about. Have you ever seen the Indiana Jones movies?
No.
Oh, I mean, as an adult, I watched them as a kid, and they're great, but. As an adult, rewatching them, you're going to encounter some really racist shit. If you ever watch it, I want you to be ready for that. Especially the second one. It's the most insane movie of all time. However, there's like 5 separate canon instances in the Indiana Jones movies and like the video game and stuff, I guess. I never played it, but the video covered that. God is objectively real in this universe. Like he finds the Ark of the Covenant, and, like, God comes out of it and kills people. He finds the Holy Grail. It heals his dad's, like, bullet wound that he is bleeding out from. God, objectively real. Like, multiple times throughout this series. And at the end, or at the beginning of the next movie every time, he's like, I don't believe in bedtime stories, kid. And so it's like...
Yeah, it's always weird when there's, like, supernatural stuff or powers in a universe, and then there's an atheist. It's like, come on. Like,
come on.
And also, like, in Marvel, like, oh, no, Iron Man's gone forever, but Black Panther knows that there's an afterlife. And there's Thor. Is that an afterlife? Like, well, how does this work
I never understood that part of it, where it's like there are gods, but... That's just an alien, really. It's just in a different It's not like they didn't create humans. And even if they, I don't know, man. I don't know about any of this stuff. I'm not super theology pilled.
Crap, I had something I was gonna talk about.
Why are we recording so early? Do you have a thing today?
Yeah,
later?
yeah, I got a thing to do. I got a place to be. I got things to do. Checks
Poop
to
store? You
checks,
gotta go get in line?
Checks to sign. Cash that, Jenkins.
Oh, okay. So is there a time we need to be done by, or do we have free reign for a little while?
By 1 my time, so we're good.
We have
we're
like
good.
an hour and a half left.
Yeah, or 1-ish. Yeah, we'll be good. We could hit 2.
Okay,
probably.
okay,
We
cool.
could hit 2.
All right. Well, I mean, 25-minute intro. Jesus, what a fucking masterclass by us. I'm not gonna lie. Let me timestamp this. Where do you want to go first? We have a couple of things to talk about, I guess.
Well, let's start.
Oh,
with
also, I did a lobbyist request thread. You should pull it up.
all right. We did. Let's do Pacers Knicks because I was hoping the series would be over. Sorry, Knicks fans, but
I was I was tired after the game. I did not want to record. I was like, oh no, it's going 6. Shit. Yeah. So the Pacers, fucking, yeah, chance to close it out. They don't do it. The Knicks kind of ended up being a blowout. It didn't feel, especially coming off the heels of the Game 5 Minnesota OKC, this did not feel like a proper blowout. The Pacers were kind of always within punching distance, and they just never got it done. Truly transcendent Brunson game for 2 of these quarters. First quarter, 14 points, and then in the third quarter he had 16 points. Just like these fun little ISO runs where he's like, give me the ball, I'm just going to make a bunch of really tough shots real quick. Capped off by 4-point play in Madison Square Garden. It is very fun. It's like it's a cool, I love the environment there and everything. So yeah, great Brunson game. Good, very good Karl Anthony Towns game with a sprinkling of weird, like, bad moments that kind of, I wouldn't call it a great game from him because there was a couple spots where it was like, dude, why did you do that?
They asked him after the game, right? They're like, why do you get so many dumb fouls? And he's like, God only knows. And also,
God only knows.
his feet, his feet aren't messed up. Did you see that?
I didn't think his feet were messed up. What's up with his feet?
Every NBA player's feet are super messed up. You seen Jordan and Shaq's and LeBron?
Yeah, okay, in like an overarch. I thought you meant there was an active foot injury he was playing through.
We got a Halliburton stinker. 8 points on 2 of 7 shots. And really just no one on this Indiana team.
Yeah, bad Siakam game, too. He took, what did he end up taking, 12 shots?
13, and he scored 15.
Okay. Yeah.
No one balled out except Benedict Mathurin. 23
I...
points, 6 of 10 shooting, 9 of 9 from the free throw line.
If Nembhard was better at defense, if he was like a Caruso level defender, I wrote down the Nembargo would be a good nickname. And so no points getting through here. Yeah, but as far as the Stars in Indiana goes, so frustrating to see Halliburton have ostensibly what is one of the best playoff games of all time. Is purely because he's aggressive as a scorer and he takes a bunch of shots. And then you come out in this game and it's not just that he's like not looking to score. It's that Mikal Bridges picks him up when he crosses the half court line, and Halliburton for a ton of the possessions in this game was just like, oh, guess that means I can't do anything, and like got the ball out of his hands. It's like, dude, you fried him all series. It feels like he cannot stay in front of you, especially if you get like a screener involved, and they don't have, it's not like it didn't feel like the Knicks pulled any special defensive levers in this game, like went to the Jalen Clarks of the world or whatever. They just had him up higher and everything, and Halliburton did not really look to punish them at all. It was I as a Halliburton truther, that's so frustrating. Like, we know the team is better when you take more shots.
Yeah, so Caitlin Klooper.
Caitlin Klooper. Oh my god. She's a mystery detective.
Caitlin Cooper tweeted, the biggest change for the Knicks by her eye, the most trustworthy eyes in the verse. Highest average...
Observation hockey, confirmed.
More, yeah. I mean, we have observation
Future
hockey.
sight plus observation hockey.
Plus the Gojos, what are they called? The Thousand Eyes?
6 eyes.
6 eyes.
1,000. Jeez, come on. It's only 6 of them.
And Byakugan and Rinnegan and Sharingan. The highest average pickup point of the series when Tyrese was on the floor at 46 feet. And then OG is guarding Nemhard plus ducking under. So they're neutralizing him with a good defender. Much harder to play 4v4 when Tyrese is being face guarded than the prior series. And yeah, she's got some video examples here, but
it's an audio format. So
yeah. So guys, imagine those words in video form.
Yeah, because you guys know what Madison Square Garden looks like, and
Timothy
what the Knicks
Chalamet
and the
on
Pacers
the
look like. Spike Lee, big striped jacket. You know, hey, come on, ref. Yeah, that kind of thing. Yeah, so what did I say? Knicks, they were up 20 points at 6:24 left in the third quarter. Cat picked up his 4th foul where he just like pushed Siakam in the post straight up. Pacers, they had that lead cut to 10 within 2 minutes. And then again in the fourth quarter, they cut the lead to 12. The Knicks went back up by like 20 points, and the Pacers cut it back down to 12 with 7 minutes left. But they just had like this did feel like a game that would have been a nail biter if either Siakam or Halliburton just had regular game.
And they didn't play hard. Rick Carla said, we obviously didn't play with the level of force that we needed to. We lost the rebound battle. We lost the turnover battle. We didn't shoot well. They had a lot to do. They had a lot to do with it. So give them a lot of credit, and we're going to have to play better. And then Siakam even had a back and forth with the reporter. Where
it was the same... Sorry, you go.
Wait, it was the same who?
It was the same guy that got his credentials revoked for being weird to Caitlin Clark.
Oh,
do you remember
really?
that guy who was like, "Hey, sweetheart, give us a smile. It won't hurt you," or something.
No, that
and they were like, "You are never covering an Indiana Fever game ever again." This was the same guy who was antagonizing Pascal Siakam.
That guy's gotta just chill, and he seems like he seems like unintentionally bad guy. Like he's like
this one.
He's like a lifer, right? An Indiana newspaper, and people are like, he's a nice guy, just weird.
Well, you could pawn. Okay, man moment for a second here. You could pawn off the Caitlin Clark thing as like old man doesn't understand the new age or whatever, which like I think is a lazy excuse anyways. But you could maybe do that. The Siakam thing, he's like badgering him. He's like, well, how'd they beat you? They were more physical. They made shots. Yeah, but how'd they do that? Well, it happens. But how does it happen in a game? And it's like, dude, you gotta give it up, man.
It's like what quote are you looking for? Like they have bionic bones. They inserted the bionic bones before this game.
I should say Cat though, because I feel like I've only shit on Cat so far. Really good offensive game. In a way, like, the stats don't fully reflect, I feel like. 24 points, I think 5 of 10 from the field, 55% true shooting. But he could have settled for bad shots. He could have settled for more threes. And instead, this was one of those games where he's like, hey, Miles Turner cannot stop me from driving to the rim. I'm going to drive to the rim every time, and I'm going to get fouled or I'm going to get a layup. And that was just as much of a reason that the Knicks kind of sustained this big lead for a lot of this game as Brunson's little like microwave scoring bursts in the first and the third quarter. I thought scoring-wise, this was a great game from Towns. Like when he pulled up for the threes, a lot of them I was like, you're kind of bailing out. Like this, that's not what's worked so far. Like you know that you can go to the rim whenever you want, and if they go in, obviously I feel different. It's a make or miss league, but
It's a make or miss league.
It's a make or miss league.
I didn't realize he was questionable to play in this game after.
His knee is messed up.
He was in a collision, but it worked out. So, just a normal stinker from the Pacers. If you're up 3-1, you're not gonna try as hard as the guys who are down 3-1 usually.
Thunder did.
Well, was it in OKC or was it?
Yes.
Yeah, it was in OKC. They had the wins at the back of their sails.
It was in OK. See.
Okay, not that good.
Got him. Guys, comment down poetry based.
See if you could do it in Indy. Chalamet will be there, so maybe he'll put the wind in their sails, but maybe he won't be enough. Where's he staying at in Indianapolis? God, he must not. Don't leave the hotel.
He flies in a blimp, and he stays above the city.
I'll tell you what, you couldn't even tell because this guy's just red and smoggy there, and there's flames.
And there's flames.
Yep.
Okay, brimstone.
Yep.
All right. I don't have that much on the Pacers-Knicks game. It was a very good response game for the Knicks. Who else played well for them?
For the Knicks?
Yeah, let me pull up this box score. Landry Shamet was getting a lot of love on my timeline, and then Mitchell Robinson.
Well, we got some depth. We got 14 Landry Shamet minutes. We got 10 DeLon Wright, 18 Deuce McBride, 6 Precious Achiuwa, and even 1 Ariel Hukporti minute. What a blast!
Oh yeah, they were saying
And he
Ariel
scored.
Hukporti points before Embiid conference finals appearance.
Oh shoot! Okay.
Yeah. So, damn. 21% from the field for OG Anunoby, and you still win the game like this. That is a pretty big
It was a defensive game. You're shutting down
bolster.
him hard.
And then I also liked it. Josh Hart, he's had some lows in this series for sure. I thought this was a good Josh Hart game. 12 points, 10 rebounds, 4 assists, 2 steals, 56% true shooting, but he was aggressive, getting downhill and everything, made his layups. Yeah, and then what did Mitchell Robinson have? Let me see, big fella. 6 points, 6 rebounds on 100% from the field in 20 minutes. 100% from the field, 77% true shooting, though. You got to make your free throws, Mitchell Robinson.
Got to make your free throws.
Yeah, that's all I got. Do you have anything?
No.
Oh, do you want to do some lobby requests?
Oh yeah, let's see if there is any. So I'm actually scrolling to the side on my phone to where I could oh, I got a text from oh shoot, it's the most popular kid in school. Invited me to a party. Can't go now. Can't go today. Let's see. Call for lobbies requests. Sacktown Tugger. This is the man formerly known as Keegan Murray Enjoyer. How? Oh my God!
What? Why did you go away? That was a great name, dude.
It's like
Why'd you go away from that?
It's like when Ted Kaczynski was just the young guy at college before.
I guess.
The Sacktown Tugger. I'm facing a moral dilemma. Yeah, I hope so. I'm moving to New York at the end of the summer and must grapple with my fandom. The Kings suck and don't seem keen on fixing that. That's not the problem, however. I am sleepy, bedtime pilled, and cannot handle 10 p.m. tip-offs.
Bro, if you're on the East Coast, you're going to become a late night guy.
Do I say F it and admire Keegan Murray from afar while supporting the Knicks? Do I take a hard left and go Nets? My loyalty can be bought. Happy Friday. I
know what the Patreon would tell you to do. The fucking mob. Hey, you better know where your loyalties lie.
You don't know anyone in this fucking city, huh? I'd be ashamed if you got hurt. Maybe stick with us. And, but I don't know. I would assume a Keegan Murray enjoyer is someone. Well, I guess he abandoned that for Sacktown Tugger. So maybe he's not. Maybe
how much does he even enjoy him? You know?
Yeah, I mean, who knows? And maybe you do. Well, I guess that wouldn't solve the problem. I was like, he has a twin brother, but he's in Portland, so that doesn't. That doesn't fix anything. I don't know. It's really a vibes-based thing. It's just whoever you can actually buy into and care about and be invested in. And so maybe
that would be very hard to do with the Nets for me.
Well, they have 4 first-round picks.
They have no. I mean, well, I guess yeah. After this draft, maybe they'll have somebody to believe in. But right now, it's just nobody. Ever the whole roster. I'm like, are you gonna be here in 3 years?
I'll tell you what. In the draft community, people are freaking out because so many guys are like so many
They're
guys
going back to school.
Yeah, so many guys who would be second round picks or like undrafted free agents are going back to school, and there are some big ones. There are some guys who like could definitely go in the first round, and people are super high on.
Like the Florida guy. There's one of them that's going back, right?
The Florida guy? Which Florida guy?
There's a white guy from Florida who he's going to help them defend their title, I guess.
Maybe. I don't even know him. I know LeBaron Philon, the Alabama guy's the biggest one to me. There's another one, Miles Byrd. He could have been a good Denver pick later in the draft.
Whatever. We don't have a pick.
Oh shoot! Yeah. Well, Kroenke said he's gonna buy into the draft, so they'll
cool.
be in there at some
Fuck
point.
you. Oh my god. I'm gonna buy into the draft.
But he's a cool young guy. He looks sort of like
Does he wear a leather jacket?
No, he looks sort of like the Euphoria dad before you find out he's a bad guy.
Never seen Euphoria, and now I'm not gonna watch it because I know what happens.
You don't know how he's bad. You couldn't even predict how he's bad.
Probably a drug lord.
And you don't want to watch Euphoria. It's not that good.
That seems stupid. I'm not gonna lie. It seems like it looks nice, but every clip I've seen, I'm just like, what is this? What are we doing?
But yeah, I'd say vibe check. And your body will correct itself if you're really, you'll feel a tug at somewhere when the Kings are playing. You won't.
You move east.
You won't be able to sleep.
Move east. 7:30 rolls around. Coffee starts calling your name. You get into this cycle. Did he say he's moving for school?
He didn't say.
Okay.
New York at the end of the summer, so that's a school. That's a school pill.
It's giving school. Yeah, I would say.
And he goes to bed at 10, so he's definitely getting his assignments done early. Nerd.
Oh my god, dork, dude.
School's at 7. Guess I'll get up at 6.
Yeah. Wow. Guys, bully this guy in the comments. Yeah, I don't know. You're Knicks. If you root for the Nets, your life will be just as bad as rooting for the Kings. I firmly believe that. Maybe it gets better faster, but for the immediate future, your life will still suck. Just be a Knicks Mets guy. Just lean into all that stuff. It could be fun.
I trust Sean Marks. Sean Marks is like a real guy.
I trust Karl Marx.
Oh, okay.
Fake guy. Historically, he wasn't real.
Oh, he wasn't? Oh.
Yeah, like Percy Jackson.
Like Shakespeare.
Whoa. Okay.
Well, Shakespeare, it was multiple
Shakespeare
guys.
invented the word manager. I learned that yesterday.
Okay. If I was back then, there's so much less words, I would invent them too. Zoe 101 invented drip.
Hey, it did. Zoe 101 versus William Shakespeare. Who's better storyteller?
I'll tell you what. William Shakespeare never came up with that backpack episode.
I'm saying.
I'll tell you that.
This takes place in a castle. This one takes place at a boarding school. So I think I know where I'm going.
There was no Pepperdine University yet, so Shakespeare could not even fathom a place that wonderful.
Oh my God.
Pacers this is from Baked ZD.
Okay.
So when are you boys becoming Pacists? I'm a former Bulls lobbyist. I, a former Bulls lobbyist, have converted this postseason in the name of my own happiness. I expect Pablo to do the same or face the wrath of Pascal Siakam's spinning elbow. You will surely die. Okay.
Okay. Hey, you're in trouble. He's going to fucking kill you.
Why only me? He's got 2 elbows for a reason.
They're both coming for you.
I mean, I'm pretty neutral in this finals. I would honestly be okay with either team winning because
I'm just rooting for good basketball.
I haven't been gaslit into thinking.
Gaslit?
I haven't.
He's a gaslit.
No, I'm not. I don't even like farting that much. I haven't been gaslit into thinking OKC is unfair. That this is cheating. The NBA is rigging it for Oklahoma City. That they're giving short
I haven't been gaslit into that. I am worried, even if the pace like if Mikal Bridges can just do this to you sometimes. the Thunder are gonna have some shit for you, Mr. Halliburton.
Oh, I see. And yeah, I like how they built their team. I like all their guys. So I'd be okay with the Thunder winning. But if the Thunder were to get vanquished by the David, they're the Goliath, if the Pacers David, that'd be pretty cool too. And it would really change how I think about basketball. At least I'd have to reconsider everything.
I feel like they didn't have the better team. They didn't have the best player. They were worse at defense. This just doesn't make any sense.
So we won against the best defense ever because of the creation of Nesmith.
Because of Aaron Nesmith? Okay.
And Miles, I know we won a championship with Jokic at defense, but Miles Turner? I don't know. So yeah, when are you rooting for either one? Are you going to be a Pacist? Are you going to be rooting for the Pacers?
I'll root for the Pacers in the sense that it's probably entertaining the more they win. Every Pacers win probably means a longer series, whereas every Thunder win is probably this could be over in 5. That's how I would feel about it.
Do the Thunder wear white on the road?
I don't know.
Because do the Pacers wear yellow on the road? They do, right?
I don't know. I don't know any of this stuff.
I think this would be a good jersey matchup, right? If we get the yellow on the blue, because I'm pretty sure OKC wears the blue at the home.
I have bad news.
But then they'd both be white. Or no?
I have to go to the bathroom.
Guys, comment down below if you've heard of 32, as in a variation of the game 21 in basketball.
That is always fun when someone from out of town comes to play basketball, and they're like, all right, screwball rules or whatever. And it's what the fuck are you talking about, dude?
Yeah, I would I've played with I remember playing with my cousins when I was little, and they would do tips in 21.
21?
You do tips?
I used to. It's a young man's game. Tips. When it doesn't benefit old people at all. But tips, yeah, I mean I've heard of it. And I don't hate it or anything. It's just I don't know. I really don't like playing 21. By the end of a game of 21, I'm exhausted and I have not had any fun, really. Even the best game where I win 21 and the next guy has 10 or something. I'm still just dude, we could have just played a game of 2-on-2 or something. Or even if there's 3 guys, I would rather do King of the Court or something. Just successive one-on-ones than do 21. I really don't like it.
I don't do 1v1. I'm a 5v. I'm a team player.
Yeah, no, I know.
I'm an off-ball guy.
Your aura is the least one-on-one pilled of all time. You get it at the top of the key, you immediately turn around and start posting the guy up, but you can't take him anywhere. Oh, man.
I'm a big off-ball mover and a big screen setter, and I'll tell you what, people still get upset with me.
For what? Setting screens?
Yeah.
I'll lay a guy out. I'm a great screen setter. I'm the best pick and roll big at the park.
Miami masturbator, KNICKS. How about them Knickerbockers? Hey, bing bong, am I right? He wrote in all caps. That's why I said it like that.
Okay.
Bam Adebayo is what is currently missing from the playoffs. What? Oh, he's Miami masturbator.
Okay.
Oh, what did somebody say? They were talking. I saw Dwayne Wade and Udonis Haslem on a podcast, and they were talking about disrespecting Chris Bosh, and they said Udonis Haslem said that he saw someone say that Chris Bosh would just be Nick Claxton today, and they're like, no, he'd be Anthony Davis, and I was thinking about that, and I was like, is he closer to being Nick Claxton or is he closer to being Anthony Davis?
I would say Davis.
Probably,
just because I feel all his skills much better in the modern NBA. Fluid, mobile big who could do a lot skill-wise with the ball in his hands. That's not 2000s pilled basketball. But today it would be really cool.
And then I started thinking, is Bam closer to Claxton or Anthony Davis? And I was like, I don't know. I think it might be closer to Claxton.
Give Claxton a bunch of mid-range pull-ups. Let's see what he does.
I mean, Bam's not giving you that much on offense these days, is he?
No, he awful offensive season for Bam. I mean, he's close. All three of them are much better than Claxton. I'll quit the troll. I'll drop the gimmick. Bam's very good still.
What did you
what
did you guys think of that one time Bam dunked on Joe Harris? That's the end of this question.
It doesn't stick out in my
It
memory
doesn't.
at all.
I have no memories of Joe Harris playing basketball. I'll tell you that much.
I have a memory of him holding up the 3-point shooting trophy, and I was like, "Yo, he led the league, and that's pretty cool. Good for him." And then he disappeared.
De'Aaron Fox Mulder, get the abortion. LOL. And then Miami Masturbator said, send a video.
What the hell?
Bwomp. Tell Brunson to pick his nose and eat it. And by the way, Bwomp, I saw your comment last week. He said if he was a ghost, he would possess me and then goon.
That is a crime.
That's a crime.
Yep, we got him. Guys, go screenshot that. Send it to a lawyer.
All right, Celtics, no.
He said he would possess me and then goon.
We have a guy pretending to be Nico Harrison. Nico's burner. Should I trade PJ or Gafford? Oh my God. Cow Daddy for real 2 hours ago said Zion MVP next year. My fortune teller told me so. Kill that fortune teller.
Bro, you gotta fucking
kill that
your
fortune teller, buddy.
I mean, that is some of the worst timing I've ever seen. That must have been like minutes before the story dropped. The story might have already dropped and they hadn't even seen it, actually.
The devil is in your oracle. Let's see. Is there Pacers is from Digital Mitski. There's a really good Mitski conclave edit. I've been rewatching in my favorites on TikTok. Pacers. Is Miles Turner really that good that the Pacers front office is willing to go into the luxury tax to keep him? He fits the scheme, sure, but he's probably the best non-great center in the league. I don't know how I would imagine winning a championship changes how you operate, but I don't know. It's very odd because he's been in trade rumors forever for his entire career. And he's like the platonic ideal of a stretch five. Like he could block shots and make threes.
Who is this?
Miles Turner. Will the Pacers go into the luxury tax to keep him?
It's weird because he is. I feel like the idea of him is very different than the reality, where a lot of people still subscribe to him as like a shot blocking rim protector. That's gone. I really do not like him on the defensive end of the floor. But like really hard to find someone who replicates his offensive skill set. Very difficult to find someone who is that good. Not just at like shooting spot up threes from like the corner or whatever, but like getting to the elbow, running like fun little pick and pops with Halliburton, being able to like just catch and shoot so fast. It'd be very difficult to find someone who could replicate his skill set. Jarris Walker though, shit.
But Miles is big. Miles is like 6'10". Let me check what Miles' barefoot measurements
are. He's like 6'9", dude.
Really? Is he a sneaky short guy?
He plays like one. Doesn't matter. I only care about the results, and so
Miles Turner.
He's
barefoot measurement. He's definitely got a long wingspan.
Miles Turner barefoot
picks
toes
hot,
oiled up.
So he's 6'9" and 3/4 without shoes. So right off 6'10". So he's 6'11", somewhere 6'11"-ish in shoes. So that's not bad. And then let's check out his wingspan. But Jarris Walker's only like Jarris Walker might be like 6'6" barefoot. Jarris Walker's like 6'8" in shoes. So he's too tiny to be a replacement. 7'4" wingspan. Impressive.
Cool.
Let me check his standing reach.
Luxury tax for Miles Turner. So what is that, first apron?
I don't know how the aprons work, honestly.
Well, the first apron is like 190 something million, and then okay, well, If you don't have the numbers, you're not. It's just like me asking a monkey to do math or something.
Ask me a math question.
What's 55 rounded up?
Woo, woo, ah, ah. Okay, too accurate. It got gross.
I love doing a real.
Stop.
Pablo's scared. I got his ass.
I would be nervous if I saw a monkey in the street.
Fuck.
I feel like he'd know to take my wallet.
What was it? Gordy, no.
Oh God.
Yeah. Luxury tax for Miles Turner. I think they'll do it. I think there's a commitment to this version of the roster right now, especially with how close they're getting. Where like if you make the finals, unless like a truly objectively better option comes along,
Porzingis.
I think they. Fuck no. Yeah, no, absolutely not.
There's very few high volume 3-point attempting centers in NBA history. What?
It's like Cat.
It's just Cat, really. They were talking about this on the Thinking Basketball podcast. Cody was like, "Yeah, it's really just Cat," and then Miles Turner is like, he doesn't shoot that well, but he's up there relative to the rest of history.
He takes you close out on him. Every other center, it's like he takes a lot of threes for a big man.
Okay, so he's at 3.9 this postseason. That's not bad on 39%. Last season, he was at 45% on 5 attempts a game.
He was magnet ball last season. I do remember that.
Magnet.
I'll say yeah, they do it right now, just because there's not a real tangible replacement for him or anything.
And how much is he going to demand? Like, what is he?
A fair amount of money? What, like 25 mil?
That's not bad at all for a starting center. Like you could be paying Josh Giddey 30.
You think at 30?
I mean, I don't. Would I scoff at 30 for him?
Now that I'm thinking in 2014 money. I have my brain is just like $10 million for this guy.
For
no.
Zeke Naji. Jesus, that's an insult.
Jesus, God, we bankrupted. I mean, I'm desolate now. I'm living in a Hooverville because I gave Zeke Naji 4 years, $32 million. All right, give me one more lobby request.
Miles
Let's
Burner.
move on.
Jello Pack.
That's a great name.
Jello Pack and Hablo. Hablo. It's me again, Miles Burner, Japan's most loyal. Oh, it's him, the guy who lives in Japan. He's a
Whoa. Okay.
Most loyal Indiana Pacers fan from day one.
You know that meme where it's like place Japan? That's
Pacers
us right now.
fan in Japan.
Lobbyist Japan.
He said in parentheses from day one. Parentheses real.
Okay.
I was just wondering if either of you have any guys for this upcoming draft or last year, not on your team. This year I've been going all in on Dylan Harper for a few months. I think he'll have a comparable career with Flag, with a shout-out to Yang, Malawash, Damon, and Reynaud. Last year it was Zach Edey with the shout-out to Topic and Rizashay. Can't believe they doubted my Wasian goat. Wait, what? Oh, it was Edey's Wasian.
Nice.
Also,
Wasianadian. Because he's also... Yeah,
also, I finally watched Sinners, so I need to go back through the EPs to find where you guys talked about it. I have no clue when that.
It was weeks ago.
I think I saw it the second week it was out, and you saw it the first.
Yeah, you were sick, and so it took a minute.
Oh yeah, it might have been the third week it was out.
It's so good. I kind of want to see it again. Damn.
Yeah. But he said, side question. Skip this if it's too long. I learned today that Dylan Harper's part Filipino. Does he step into the league as an S-tier Asian NBA player? I have to imagine yes, because the comp is like Jalen Green and Rui Hachimura off the top of my head. Thanks for all the content, which got me through exam season. Oh, that's
Jordan Clarkson?
That's Japan exam season. Sheesh. Will Dylan Harper be better than Jordan Clarkson day one in the NBA? Yeah. Will he be better than Jalen Green? Probably. Relative to contracts, certainly.
By the end of the season, it's definitely possible. Day one, it's kind of tough.
He will. Yeah, I think he'll definitely be S-tier Asian.
Yeah.
Unless Mozgov comes back in his prime.
Where's he from?
Russia.
Is that Asia?
I don't know. I think it's like split in half. I don't know the distinction.
Okay.
If
This guy
if
Chinese
if you
Russian
ask
or
Europeans,
Balkan Russian?
if you ask Europeans, yeah, they're not Europe. So
They're their own thing. They're weird. Get out of here.
my guy this year is definitely VJ. I'm so VJ pilled. I think he's got like a realistic chance to be like a Derek White type, fill up everything, and then because he's so athletic, he's got room to be more. Tom Green interview talking about him playing lower, what it could do for his game, and just the rate of improvement. I'm impressed, and I'm also a little bit Cedric Coward pilled, but I still I need to watch more. But
I'm slow-footed, big Renaissance pilled. Malawash.
well, no, he's not
It's-
slow-footed.
it's- He's pretty. I saw his combine. It's not good.
That's the combine where Zach Edey beat John Wall's times.
I saw the combine. He knocked over like 2 cones, and I was like, $1 million on this guy's stock. I need him.
Do you know Hanson Yang?
I've heard of him. Yeah.
The Chinese Jokic, 7'2", gigantic
Okay.
hands, and just like
Give me that
just
guy.
like that type of bit, like post up passing, touch guy.
Could he pair with Sar?
Well, the thing is, he was playing against Chinese people. He was playing in the Chinese league.
What's wrong with
It's
that?
not a
What's up
not a
with-
high level competition. Oh, I started watching the Chinese basketball anime. It's really good. Left-handed layup, but
My brother texted and he said we need to lock in and watch Slam Dunk.
yeah, I've started it, but it's very like. It's very 90s, and it's very like 90s school romance is like a big part of it.
Oh, Pablo's above romance, everybody.
I really want to focus on the game, on the team, and the friendship of the team.
Okay. and the boys.
Yeah.
I want girls to get in the middle of all this.
Come on, play for the guys. Play for the guys beside you, not the girl in the stands. Maybe the teacher in the stands. Let me know.
Whoa.
Yeah. Do you Is it? Have you seen extended footage of anyone from this year's draft?
No, I haven't watched anything. I'm gonna watch minimal stuff. I really like our dynamic where I don't know anything that's going on, and we bring in you and Ben Pfeiffer, and I just ask questions the whole time.
Hanson Yang, Chinese Jokic, lock it in.
So what I'll do, I'll bring a question for everybody. So with Hanson Yang, it'll be like, well, how real is Chinese basketball?
Okay.
Chinese basketball versus Israel Professional League, which scales more?
Israel's probably better, unfortunately.
Fuck, China! Come on, dude. How are you beating us in everything except that?
It's cool because in the Chinese anime, like there's just because it's China, it's different, and I just noticed the Chinese elements. Like the beginning of the episode is him taking a bullet train to a different city. I'm like, oh, that's so cool. And when they
cool.
show the summertime outside, they don't have the like locusts or like cicadas noise. They just have like birds and stuff. Like, oh, is that what a Chinese summer sounds like?
Is that what Chinese? They killed all the locusts. Wow. Put them on the victims of communism. This is so sad.
And also, it's my first exposure to like trying to keep track of a bunch of Chinese names, and so I'm having trouble. And so it's I would imagine this is probably what it was like when I first watched anime. I'm like, what's his name?
What the hell?
Gon?
What the hell?
Naruto? Well, actually, that's a name that doesn't fit. But yeah, Uchiha.
Okay. All right. You want to do Timberwolves' funeral? They're dead.
Yeah, may as well.
May as well. Let me timestamp this. 102.
What did Anthony Edwards finish this playoff run as? Because I have not been. A lot of people are down on him.
Yeah, that'll be a talking point. Timberwolves funeral. So I believe he finished the series or the playoffs averaging 25, 6 and 6 on
6 and 8.
Okay, playmaker, pretty good efficiency. What 45-35 splits?
Let's see, 56% true shooting, and then 45 from the field, 35 from 3, and then 72 from the line.
71.2. I'm pretty sure that's what jumped out to me the most. I was like, you're supposed to be Michael
719.
Jordan.
Yeah.
God
And
damn.
he got here at the lowest rate, or at a lower. So in year 2, he got there 8 times a game. Then it was 6. Now it's in the 5.
My face when the 3-pointer ruins a young player. Wow.
Whoa.
Ball don't stop was right. That will be a theme that permeates my take though. Ball don't stop. He kind of called a lot of this shit.
What did he tweeted something and I really liked it. Let me pull it up.
I have no idea. He tweets a lot.
Well, what were you about to say?
Well, I can just read my shit. So the Wolves completely smoked in Game 5. Turned it off at halftime. I didn't go back and rewatch any of it. Didn't really feel like I needed to. Hilarious that Julius Randle ended the game with a good stat line after starting like that. Did you see his line at all?
No, what was it?
He finished 24 points on, I believe, like 60-something% true shooting. He had 13 in the third quarter on like 4 of 4 from the field. He just didn't miss in a completely like meaningless game by that point. It was like a 30-point lead. But yeah, just, I mean, true disaster game from everyone involved. Awful start for Randall with a lot of turnovers, and he was missing shots. Awful start for Jaden McDaniels, who he thought it was like the him versus Chet game. I feel like he took 6 shots in the first quarter, and they were all really tough, and none of them went in.
Well, he's fighting for his life. Okay.
Chet he circled back on a bunch of like shit talking that the Wolves did like last year. Last year Anthony Edwards dunked on him, and there was like they released a behind the scenes video in the locker room where Ant was like, "Oh my God, I can't believe he jumped all this shit. Welcome home, Chet." And then Chet captioned his Instagram post after they won Game 5. He said, "Welcome home, Chet," and then he posted that video on his story. So he's hey for all the oxtail clowning, the white boy can post. What can I say? Anthony Edwards back against the wall game, 19.6 rebounds, 2 assists, 7 of 18 from the field, 1 of 7 from 3 again. He finished the series shooting 28% from 3, and in games 2, 4, and 5, he was just 13%. I think he went 3 of 23 in those games. Really tough. And then, the ball don't stop moment. The mid-range, it's the step forward for him, is what, smarter people than I have said, but, I mean, it makes sense.
Yeah, clear area of improvement, and really that's the last thing he has. If he has that, he has everything, kind of. I also think his stamina still was a little weird. Like,
yes,
there's just times he looks gassed out there, and he got gassed last year, and then there's a moment in the Olympic series, I think, where he's talking about, I didn't know how hard it was to be at the conference finals, like the type of training you have to do, but now I know, so I'll be good. But now I'm 2 years in, he's not quite there.
I don't know if it was stamina or what. He was standing around a lot off the ball. Not just in this game. Like, if you go back and watch, ball's not in his hands. We're not screening. We're not cutting. We're not even really, like, waiting for the kick out for, like, a catch and shoot. It was just kind of, like, standing. And then, like, the shot goes up, and he's, like, walking back on defense already. And so, yeah, I don't know. We're at this very weird intersection of he's literally Michael Jordan. This is one of the best players in the league. Then we get this car crash of a series, and it's like, well, he's only 23. And so now these two, they're very conflicting narratives. I probably side more with the second one of him being very young and the level of criticism he's getting probably being a bit excessive. But at the same, as someone very vocal, Ant got too much credit for Game 7 in Denver. I'm one of the last bastions of that, I feel like. This is like a logical extension of that. Is like he got a lot of aura for a postseason run that was impressive for a 22-year-old, but not necessarily like to the standards of one of the best players on the planet. And now we're kind of seeing like another full playoff run of that where he doesn't get to do some aura farming in important games.
Yeah, there's a dynamic here where like I'm coming up on Anthony Edwards because I was low. I was low as a prospect. I was low in his development. I've been low the whole time, and I've been coming up. And then there's people who are coming down because they were like, he's literally Michael Jordan.
He's not a top 5 player right now, and it's like, I mean, I don't know how you got there last year.
Yeah. So the ball don't stop tweet I liked was Nuggets took this Thunder squad to 7, and the Clippers took that Nuggets squad to 7. ... Good stuff.
If you told me those were the 3 best teams in the playoffs, I think there'd be a pretty solid argument for it. This Pacers probably as good as the Clippers, a little bit better. I really hate, like, I tweeted that, hey, they took them to 7. This is impressive. I tweeted that when the Thunder smoked the Wolves for like the 2nd straight game. But the more I've thought about it, the Nuggets still blew 2 back-to-back fourth quarters that they should have closed out.
Against OKC?
I hate thinking. Yeah, games, I believe 5 and 6. I think game 5 was like the Jokic masterclass that nobody else scored a single shot in the fourth quarter. And or that was game 6. And then game 5 was the reverse, where Jokic played really poorly and everyone else played good enough for the game to be close. And I think Lou Dort hit like 3 or 4 threes in the fourth quarter. So, yeah, I don't know. Denver's definitely better than people thought, but this is a very good OKC team, I guess, is what I'm saying.
So will there be any big changes with these guys?
Yes.
What are they going to be?
So they have a trio of cascading decisions here. Julius Randle, $30 million player option next season. I don't know what he's going to do.
Yeah.
That's a serious question mark to me. Naz Reid, $15 million player option. Seems likely he's going to decline.
Yeah, gotta turn that down.
Yeah. And then Nickeil Alexander-Walker is a free agent. So
just unrestricted?
Yep. Okay. So Randall, assuming Randall opts in and they pay Naz Reid, Nickeil Alexander-Walker will not be coming back. If both of them opted in, then Nickeil Alexander-Walker could get $15 million a year, and the Wolves would still be over the second apron. And that, like, you could be over the second apron to be like the Celtics. Sure, I'm fine with that, but once you're over the second apron for back-to-back seasons, it starts to get like really destructive to your future. And so going into that just to like maybe have a shot at like the conference finals or something, it's not a sustainable way to build your team, especially in the back of your mind. We are still not built to be great around Anthony Edwards when he's at his best. Like, that's still not something this team is structured to do. And so I don't know how they're going to navigate these 3 players. There's a bunch of different ways it could go down.
Well, wait, what do you mean? Because I feel like this is, if he was better, if he was like, if he could like match Shea every game, I do feel, and OKC supporting cast would still be better, but I do feel like this is a very good supporting cast still. Like they have a lot of guys on this
it's good.
team.
I'm when I say that, I mean when Anthony Edwards is 27-30. That's like, this team is not, this version of the team will not be there. Rudy Gobert will be decrepit by that point. He's a really important
Mike
part
Conley
of why
is
they're
already
so good.
decrepit.
Mike, that's the next bullet point. I don't know what they're going to do at point guard next season. It seems like a really bad situation. And so, yeah, you have like some young players, but
they invested in Rob, but that isn't.
If Nickeil Alexander walks, you have one less young player, and there will be a really big market for both of these guys. Plenty of teams, like the Pistons, would love to get Naz Reid. The Pelicans would love to get Naz Reid. The Magic, if they could. I don't know what their money situation is like.
What if
but
the Pacers?
He would change. He could be a Miles Turner, That's not insane. I don't know. But yeah, so there will be a huge market for him, and then also like that's a great role player. I think there will be a really big market for teams to like if they could slightly overpay for him, just outbid what Minnesota is able to do. It's possible for sure. And Randall, I just have no idea what to do. I don't think he's like rehabbed his value in any like. I've seen people being like, well, they just need to shop Randall now. And it's like, who would trade for him? It just doesn't make like he's expiring if he opts in, I guess, but still.
Yeah, with him, it'll come down to whatever feedback his agent is getting about his market. I don't know what his market will be, but the other two, it's tough to. You really don't want to lose either one because they've both been such big parts of these runs. But when you think about what this team is built to withstand, like the losses, so Terrence Shannon looks legit, like a definitely at least a legit bench rotation piece. Like who
better than anyone the Nuggets have.
Yeah. Oh, imagine him cutting with Jokic. Now, that'd be
I
unbelievable.
have many a time. Don't get me wrong.
But yeah, so he's like. He brings something obviously different to Nickeil Alexander-Walker, but he's also got defensive potential. He has tools, so theoretically, and I feel like he might have shot well. No, what did he shoot? He's probably he's probably low volume either way, but theoretically he could be a guy who could knock down spot up threes, play defense, and then he's also got the crazy rim attacking element. But
yeah.
And probably can't be someone. Probably won't be Nickeil Alexander-Walker that you just throw on the best guards all game long. They just chase him around the entire time. But it's still something. Jalen Clark can fill his role defensively, but he's just not there offensively.
I mean, this is a problem. I kind of feel like the Nuggets did with like when they lose KCP and Bruce Brown and you look to younger guys, it's like, well, we've split it into two players who can do one of the things. With Peyton Watson, great defender. I really like him. Julian Strother, we've seen him, big offensive player. Both of those guys are disastrous at the other end of the floor. And I don't think Clark and Shannon are, one-dimensional to those degrees. It's just tough.
Well, Clark is very much in the same vein as like a Peyton Watson, I think.
Okay, well, Shannon then, at the very least. Shannon can hold up on defense. I mean, Julian Strother, straight up destructive defender. I mean, oh my. You get like 2 possessions where he doesn't get obliterated, and it's like, yep, this is a huge victory for us. Yeah, so it's just tough, like, when you get to the end of important games and you have Nickeil Alexander-Walker, it's like, hey, very easy decision. Let's throw him out there. When it's broken down into these more specific tool set guys, now all of a sudden you are asking Chris Finch to do more high-level coaching and, like, really read the scenario and understand, like, who fits the situation the best. And I don't know, he's a fine coach, but I don't feel like his job security is like locked in moving forward.
Chris Finch.
Yeah.
I guess it would just be the Tibbs question, like who comes in and changes their life. I don't know. I think he's probably safe for now.
They had a backup coach that was
Micah
he was on the
Nori.
market, but he. Yeah. Maybe they do the Adelman route. I don't know.
I think people like him. I think he'll probably stick around. Do they have any draft picks this season?
The Wolves?
Yeah.
Let me see. Yeah, I'll pull it up.
Okay, so then I have a Yahoo Sports article pulled up about their off season and what kind of questions they're going to have to deal with. Yeah, do you think there will be any movement with Rudy or any even like talk about it?
No, probably not. To me, he's very Jamal Murray pilled in the sense.
Oh, he
that,
signed an extension in October. I didn't realize that.
Oh yeah. Oh, so he probably can't even be traded for a while, right?
Probably, and he's got 3 years left.
incoming draft picks. 17th from the Pistons, and they also have so they have the 31st pick, first pick of the second round from the Jazz. So
Okay.
17th is not nothing. Like, you can get a guy.
31's not nothing either. Oh, and to finish my point I was making earlier, like people were freaking out about like all these guys going back to school. But like there's never that many guys who stick. Like it's not a big deal if there's I've always been a top 60 guy in terms of big board, and obviously I don't watch as much as other people, but like people make top 100s. Vast majority of those guys are doing nothing. So I'm
Yeah, it's very different than the NFL, where like, pick 84, you're drafting like a Pro Bowler sometimes. It seems like
you could and you could get like starters in undrafted free agency. It's crazy.
Yeah.
The NBA is much more odds are stacked against you. So I think 31 will probably be a decent pick for them too. They could realistically get 2 guys that could help them next season.
What
with
the
both
fuck?
these picks.
Zach Lowe listed the Wizards as the Eastern Conference team with the bleakest future. Wow.
That's not true. It's the Bulls.
It's the Nets.
No,
Yeah,
the
they have
Nets
all those
have
picks.
4
What?
first-round picks. This year.
Hey, Knicks unprotecteds versus Phoenix Suns pick swaps. What are we thinking? Which is more valuable?
Okay. The Bulls are the worst either way.
Come on.
We have nothing.
Nothing.
Let's see. So is there anyone else that could be a variable next year? All right, so the players that are signed for next season: Edwards, Gobert, McDaniels, DiVincenzo, Conley, Dillingham, and Shannon. That's a good core. I don't want Mike Conley, but
Yeah, I do think DiVincenzo. This is where you're like happy that you got that, like, because it's just another. Even though he didn't shoot the ball well, theoretically that should be another guy that you just have in the rotation. And he shot the ball well in the regular season. I just mean the playoffs. Yeah, for me, outside of the big 3, the Randall, Nikhil, and Nas situation, the point guard, that's the other part, is like, so Conley, 6 points, 3 assists in 24 minutes per game while shooting 33% from 3 and starting every game this postseason for the Timberwolves. Truly just not a guy that a good team would play this much. He's bad on defense. He's bad both ways, really. And even this idea that there used to be of, well, he can, him and Rudy Gobert can kind of combine into one sustainable offensive product, the Conley Gobert pick and roll. That's gone. It doesn't exist anymore.
Yeah.
And so you're just left with a bad player. Bad old versus bad young is probably the rotation we'll be seeing next season. Or unless they try to throw Ant out at like some point guard minutes, which he's a fine playmaker. I thought that was one of the stronger suits of his Thunder series, is like, there weren't that many options. He was just making pretty basic drive and kick reads, but he was making the reads nonetheless. But yeah, I think it'll be, because Chris Finch wrote down, or in their end of season interview, I wrote this down. He said, the first thing that Rob has to realize is there's a great opportunity in front of him. I think Mike can still be a super high-level contributor for us, but we're going to have to continue to manage his minutes and his workload overall. That creates a great opportunity for Rob or somebody to step in there. That should be an incredible motivating factor. To me, that screams, this is our point guard rotation heading into next season. We're not really looking to like add anything.
yeah, and that screams Rob Dillingham hasn't shown me that much yet. So.
Yeah, it's not like, hey, off season, if we have a good summer league, then he'll be starting for us next year. It's just like, please, we gave up a pick. Please give it something.
Let's see. The Big Cheese. Thunder. If you were the Thunder, do you want to see the Knicks or the Pacers in the finals? I would say the Knicks, because I think the Pacers are better equipped depth-wise to keep up with OKC. I still think the Thunder have an edge in star talent and depth over both teams. And then he also says, also, there's been some smoke about a Garland-Suggs trade. As a Cavs fan, my initial reaction is that Magic would have to include a first and one of Black/De Silva to even consider it. Let's do that for how do you feel about that trade?
I'm Jalen Suggs.
I straight up think they'd be better if they.
That's
yeah.
I mean, yeah. Like if you had Suggs in Garland's spot.
Yeah, and they both have injury problems.
I mean, you have a more consistent. Well, I guess Suggs' injury is scary because it was like a weird, mysterious back thing that just completely ended his season. Or his back hurt, he got carried off, and then he had season-ending knee surgery. Is what it was.
He is more banged up than broken jaw. And what did Garland have this time?
Toe. It was a toe.
Yeah, so those are definitely less serious.
Yeah. However, small guard theory, I think Suggs is a much more.
Suggs is like Caruso. He might be
like
the closest thing to Caruso. He's unbelievable.
That's a great comp, and he's offensively, he's like better than Caruso. Like Suggs can do a lot on offense. They would have to include, because of the pedigree and the all-star selections or whatever, they would have to include like Black or something, I think. But I think those two players are much closer in value. I think
like the average person on like Twitter is like, that's all-star Darius Garland versus role player Jalen Suggs, which is
Jalen Suggs he'll change your life.
Yeah.
He's so good. And that's the other part, is I've been thinking so much about like Chet has like exploded aura-wise in terms of a huge increase in respect as like a top 3 defender in the sport with this postseason run. That's what I've been seeing people say. If Mobley had a guy like Suggs on the perimeter or something, you are talking about, like, they were already a very good defense. I get that. There is a like extremely limiting factor to this backcourt that would rear its head in very ugly ways in the playoffs, even if they were healthy. I would be very entertained by that if I'm the Cavs.
Yeah, I would. And then like, if you're the Magic, I don't know if. I mean, obviously he gives you shooting that you don't need, and he just fits. Again, I don't know if he changes their life, but that's because I'm Darius Garland.
Garland on the Magic?
Yeah, I'm Darius Garland defense doomer. And I'm also not as into Pablo and Franz as everyone else. But I think it is a natural fit. If those are the two guys you're building around and you have zero shooting, then it makes sense to get that guy.
Yeah, I think it's fine to Darius Garland doomerism the end game of that. I don't know if the Magic are in a position where they are end gaming right now. I think they're very much like, hey, it would be sick to get like a deep postseason run and be able to get our bearings on like what we need in those situations, rather than like, there's no excuse for the offense to be this bad. Like, this is destructive offense. And so I feel like Garland, for whatever you want to say about like the small guard defensive issues, which that, like, I do think that would seriously change the Magic's identity.
Yeah,
because I think Suggs is so important to that.
He's the best defender, I think. You could
like
argue Isaac or something, but I think he's the best defender and like the tone setting defender of this unbelievable defense.
Yeah, I think. Especially, I think Paolo's a good example of, like, when Jalen Suggs is on the floor making plays and screaming, I think Paolo defends better. I think Cole Anthony defends better or whatever. Like all these guys who are, like, you know, good athletes but maybe inconsistent on that end of the floor, leadership boost from Jalen Suggs. I feel like that's a very tangible thing. And so
and I want Paolo to be my weak link. I would like my weak link to be a 6'10" guy who's just fluid, and like Paolo doesn't, he should be able to protect the rim, but he doesn't.
Hey, He's young. Come on.
Yeah, young guys jump.
How good was Tatum at protecting the rim at his age?
Probably pretty good. I think he kind of came in with that. I don't know. I mean, Peyton Watson came in with it, so Peyton Watson could do it. Pablo should. But if so I just kind of think Jalen Suggs is better in both ways. So maybe I'm not the guy to ask about this trade. But so back to the Thunder. If you're the Thunder, do you want to see the Knicks or Pacers? I think I would want to see the Knicks because I would want to. It's just a worse team.
Karl Anthony Towns on one knee, and they would have to go 7 games and then pretty much turn around and start playing the Thunder.
Yeah, like.
And like we just saw, I mean, Brunson, Mr. 2 feet in the paint scoring. So we've seen them eviscerate Jokic, probably the best player in the world.
A 7-footer.
Extremely physical 7-footer, great at processing, incredible touch. Had no answer for what the Thunder were doing. Julius Randle,
6'8" muscle ball.
Yeah, massive bully ball guy. Completely played out of the games, really, when they were close. Like, he just could not be on the floor.
Anthony Edwards, 6'5", one of the best athletes ever.
Faster than the speed of sound. You can't have any glass in the building because it breaks when he does a sonic boom. So yeah, for Jalen Brunson to be the guy,
this guy's smaller than our guys.
Yeah, this is the first. Wait, we're playing small ball, and he's tinier than us. Okay, cool. Yeah, I think you have to go the Knicks if you're the Thunder.
Yeah, it's just you have depth, they don't. You have guys who could guard all their guys. They have guys who can't guard a lot of your guys. Maybe
Karl Anthony Towns versus Chet and Hartenstein. I feel like he's fouling out,
and there will be way more people watching, and so that'll
count.
Yeah,
more.
that'll raise your profile too, because they'll be like, yo, this like 10 million more people being like. They shut down Jalen Brunson. That's the best player in the league, and they were able to shut him down. That's awesome. But also, it could turn Shea into a FBI's most wanted terrorist. So I don't know, but either way, you want the Knicks. Let's see. That boy nice replied to the Zion MVP guy, Cow Daddy. He said he finally followed Kobe's Mamba mentality. TBNE. That's so crazy. There's a lot of general questions going on. Okay.
Okay, sorry.
Mavs Doomer. Thunder. Happy Friday, Jackoff and Pablo. Does the yearly title of best player in the world get passed to SGA if he wins the MVP and the championship? This seemed to be skipped last year with Tatum due to him being on a super team. Do you think it happens to SGA since he's on a super team, or will the media flip on him and finally give him praise? P.S. Some praise to the F slur combined with Cooper Flagg's name.
I saw that. We cannot say that, you guys. I'm not saying that on here.
Fan club is always appreciated in draft prospect talks. I'm sure he'll be like the main focus of every offseason talk. So we'll get more to him. But
the second summer leagues. Oh my God, we're covering summer league so close. This year.
He's gonna average 30 in the summer league. Does the year? So will it be passed to SGA? I don't think so, because I think most people's takeaway from the Thunder Nuggets series was Jokic is still the best guy. Like,
Jokic would have won this series if the teams were flipped.
Yeah, and
I don't know if that's like fair, and I'm sure you can.
But it's not even just that. Like, I don't think anyone is like Shea's the better guy. I don't think it's out there.
I think there's going to be more people like that if this happens, and Shea is good enough that if you adopt a pretty specific slant in your arguments, you can make the argument that Shea is better. For me, specifically the way this question is worded, like MVP and Finals MVP, that's just not how I am gonna decide best in the world. It never has been, except for when Jokic did it, but he didn't even.
Well, sometimes
do it.
it just does coincide with a guy who just played the best basketball.
A lot of
anyone.
times it does. Like historically, I think that's how people kind of fell into this thought process. Is you like Tim Duncan in 2003 is a good example of this, where it's like, Shaq, boom, boom, boom. He was doing that kind of stuff, that accolade. He was getting all of them. Finals MVP, the one MVP, obviously. But then Tim Duncan in 2003, better basketball player, straight up, and he goes on the run that gets him all of those awards.
I'm Shaq over
Whereas,
Duncan, but carry on.
In 2003,
I don't know anything about.
You have no idea.
I don't have 2003 stats locked.
Oh my God, go look. Is
this
crazy.
quadruple double or whatever versus the Nets?
Yeah, quad double in the finals. I believe it was the first title since the 60s where everybody except Tim Duncan was like below 43% from the field in the playoffs.
Bulls would beat the Nets.
It's rookie Ginobili. It's rookie Tony Parker, 20-year-old Tony Parker. It's Malik Rose, third scoring option. Oh, my God. And he beats... Well, shout out to David Robinson. He was there. He was 40. But he beats Shaq and everybody. I don't know.
If we go backwards, so Tatum didn't get it last year because no one felt Tatum. He didn't play well. And it would have been an uphill battle. He would have to have a Kawhi run, I feel like, for him people to get that kind of respect. So it didn't happen with him. Jokic, I think Jokic was already recognized as the best. Well, I guess it did become...
What, when he won the title?
Yeah, it did become more undisputed. Like, for a while, it was like an opinion thing, right? Like, Jokic, you're a Jokic guy, or you're a Giannis guy, or you're an Embiid guy. There was a little stretch there. But it did become, like... From a group of three to just one guy, I do feel like there was a jump after he won his championship.
Yeah, I think a part of this is Giannis injury first round stuff. Where like in that time, Giannis would have been the counterpart to Jokic and everything, and there would have been a lot more serious arguments about it if the Bucks had been making consistent deep postseason runs, whereas now, like, it's a lot harder to argue Shea over Jokic because Jokic is still right there in everybody's mind. Like, we're seeing him do all of the stuff.
Far
as
less
opposed
talented
to
team, and he took you to 7.
Yeah, I mean, especially with the Westbrook news about the hand surgery this offseason and everything. It's
should he keep it broken? It's the best he's shot.
Well, in the Clippers series, I don't know when he broke it. But yeah, I think I'm willing to entertain some crazy SGA discussions. And if somebody really felt strongly about this, I don't give a fuck about any of the rankings or anything. Like, if somebody was like, no, it's Shea because of this, I'd be like, fine, whatever. I don't care. But personally, I just feel like Jokic was better this season and still is better at basketball. Like, I don't think Shea's done anything that I'm like, well, Jokic could never do that, outside of, like, some key, guard-centric defensive stuff.
Yeah, and also Shea, like, people are down on Shea because of the gaslighting, so that hurts him. But Giannis was probably the guy for a little bit there because he won literally everything you could possibly win, including defensive player there. Kawhi,
but even him, like... His championship, I feel like, solidified his best in the world status more so than Jokic. Because before that,
because at the time I was still like, I don't know if he's the best. But maybe that's a more niche opinion.
For me, it was like when Jokic won the title, we had been seeing all of this evidence of like, okay, well the defense has been bad in some of these moments, but theoretically, he should be able to play exactly like this, and they should be able to win the title. Like, this is not a shortcoming of his individual play. Whereas Giannis, before the championship run, we were getting these moments where it was like they could not win a title with him playing the way he did against Miami or in some of those, playing the way he did against Toronto either. And so I feel like the championship was more so this solidification of like, okay, those series aren't the reality of who he is as a player.
I don't think anyone thought LeBron or AD was the best guy in the world in 2020, but it was a
plenty. I think I've been seeing some people crawl out of the woodwork with that a little bit. It was interesting.
It was also a very odd situation because of the bubble thing. But yeah, so then Kawhi was before that, and then Durant definitely got that boost on the Warriors, and then obviously LeBron going back. LeBron was the best for 20 years or whatever, or 15. So yeah, I don't think Shea will get that boost, but we'll see. Let's see. Big Poop. What's your take on the Ant versus Shea aura debates? My issue with Shea is that while he can be cool, a lot of times he comes across as trying to do so. He is a goofy guy. Every clip of him balling, he's doing a funny face. Low-key reminds me of Tatum. Tries to have aura moments, but everyone besides the team fans clowns them, while Ant is so unapologetically himself. He is cool because of that. What do you think? I do think Shea is much better than Tatum at pretending to be a badass, though. We should embrace being goofballs more. I love Scotty and Josh Hart, and when they have cool moments, they're even better. That's an interesting take. Has Shea gone all in on being a cool guy when he should be a goofy guy?
I don't know. I don't really feel that, like the cool stuff. Like if you see
I
him
feel like
interact,
he's cool. I feel like he's naturally cool.
Well, no, he is very cool. That's not what I'm saying. I feel like the effort stuff that this person is describing, I don't really get that as much with Shea. And especially, I think it's fine to like look at this Thunder team and be annoyed because they're giggling and they're doing silly dances and they're in commercials and all this stuff and they're doing the dumb interviews, whatever. But when I look at all that stuff, I don't think it's fair to be like, he's trying to be cool. Because like, everything involved with that is objectively silly and dorky to me.
And there's some videos that people have made now where they put like stupid music over Shea quotes and stuff, and it makes it feel worse. Like the moment where he's like, the press conference where he's like, I just feel like I'm flowing. If you put like,
my whole life is consistent.
If you put like, brr, brr, like embarrassing sounds behind it, then it makes it feel worse. But I don't. I think both those are fine in the moment. And yeah, there's a level of we had a masterclass of inauthenticity since 2003. I'll tell you that much. There's been one guy who's the masterclass of that. Stop trying to fit out and fit in. Oh shoot, my wrist is broken.
Here we go.
But no, I feel like Shea is himself, and I feel like people assigned the cool. He definitely gained a lot of fanboys, and they went to war on his behalf, and then that's probably gotten him in trouble, like the out-meetness, stuff like that.
Yeah,
but
he definitely has annoying fans, and I think that's probably the margins on which this war is really being waged. I don't think that much of this is about Shea individually. I think it's about the concept of the Thunder as an entity on the internet.
Yeah.
Because like a lot of people probably think and talk like this online. Whereas in real life, would you sit down next to someone at dinner and be like, Shea is just trying so hard to be cool? Maybe you would with like your friends or whatever, but they're probably chronically online too.
Yeah, it ties back to the whole nonchalantness and like do people think that it'd be stupid to be like, well, he's just putting on an act involving the whole team in every post-game press conference or every post-game interview, but he's been doing that all season with only local Oklahoma City media. So yeah, he can't even say that. But Anthony Edwards is just like top tier charisma. Like he went
Yeah.
toe to toe with Obama. That very few people can ever do that.
I mean, truly, like that's
the
like
bar.
Anthony
It's-
Bourdain was like being like overpowered by Obama in that
Yeah.
like pho shop or whatever. It was like it's truly like the percentage points that we're talking about. He's Zushi. Shea could be Zushi, and Anthony Anthony Edwards. Oh my god.
It's not 08 anymore, but Obama's still like Netero. Like he's
Oh yeah.
he's put
Oh
in
my
those
God,
10,000 punches a day or whatever, so he's
Yes.
still got it.
10,000 bombs or something.
And he didn't know what kind of fight he walked into.
And I think this is also a good example. Anthony Edwards and Obama. Aura doesn't mean you're a good person. That's
they're opposite things. You don't have to be.
Yeah. Oh, this is actually one of the time killers I had. I wrote down some stuff about the Thunder run versus the Celtics run from last year. Why do they feel so different? Is this just like to you? Is this very like a short thing that you don't even feel the need to talk about really?
The Thunder run versus Celtics run?
And specifically how Shea and Tatum are being received, where Shea is, a lot of aura. And this was inspired. I saw a couple people upset that Tatum didn't win Eastern Conference Finals MVP, whereas Shea did, even though their stats were pretty similar.
I saw that
It was like
screenshot, but like, wasn't there an efficiency gap?
not crazy. Not as much as you remember. I think it was like 55 to 54% true shooting or something.
Oh, really? And was Jaylen Brown's numbers clearly better than Tatum?
They weren't clearly better than Tatum's. They were pretty close. I think Brown was also like a 30-point per game scorer on better efficiency, and he had some important clutch moments in that game or in that series.
Yeah, I'd say the difference is I think Shea has just definitely played better. Like Tatum was going against weaker competition, and he was not. I don't think he faced the same kind of attention that Shea got. Like definitely not from the Nuggets. I don't think a team like loaded up on Tatum that way. And a lot of Tatum was in full control. Like his failures came from his inability to perform. Like he was getting the kinds of shots that he usually gets that they just weren't going down, versus like Shea is having entire team constructions saying we will let anyone else beat us except you and stuff like that. And then
like if a team did that against that Celtics team, they would lose in five.
Yeah, I mean,
it's impossible to do. The three I wrote down. So one, why it feels different. I feel like getting an extremely competitive series, very big kind of like narrative shift here, where if the Thunder had just stomped their way to the finals, to a championship or whatever in similar fashion to the Celtics, I do feel like we would have more people kind of throwing a fit about it or whatever. But I think the Nuggets taking them to 7, and especially, quote, exposing their weaknesses as like a young, inexperienced team and making them grow up on the fly or whatever. I feel like a lot of that stuff, it kind of maybe gave the Thunder enough adversity in the minds of some of these fans to be like, okay, well, this wasn't a cakewalk or anything. They're really going up against some crazy stuff. So I wrote that down. And then the ways they contributed to winning also. I agree Shea straight up better. Massively better in the way that people care about. The scoring. So people care about scoring first and foremost. I don't throw around casuals as like a slur or whatever. It's okay. Well, filthy casuals. They care about points per game. Whereas Tatum, most impressive shit he was doing, you're getting like cool positional defense, great rim protection and stuff.
Yeah, mostly
and then
backline defense.
Yeah, and you're getting cool gravity playmaking and stuff. Two things no one gives a fuck about at like a sports bar or something. Whereas Shea, not even just like better, offensively better as a scorer, visually there is a grand canyon between the two as like entertaining scorers to watch. Shea this postseason and some of the games he's had as far as tough shot making goes, and Tatum last season as far as like his inability to make shots, like his jumper abandoned him. It was straight up ugly for long stretches of that postseason run. So I wrote that down.
And the discussion was like a lot of Tatum games, the Celtics were so good, he almost felt inconsequential. Versus Shea, like the whole time is like, God, if we could just get a good J-Dub game, if we could just get a good Chet game, then we're good. We need other people to live up to him. Versus Tatum, it was like, come on, Derek White's outdoing you.
Yeah. And also, it's worth noting that, like, there's no successive, like, stretch of games that you could take from Tatum's run and be like, well, okay, if you ignore this moment here, the averages look a lot better. It was very consistently like, oh, man, that's not great. Whereas Shea, if you ignore the first 3 games of the Grizzlies series, he's 31-7-6 on 60% true shooting for the playoffs.
Underrated
so far.
Grizzlies. Underrated.
They had him figured out.
Hey, deep boy, JJJ, deep boy.
I don't know. A lot of it was just kind of trolling, but I digress. But that's another part of it is Shea has kind of built momentum as the postseason has gone on. And, yeah, like you said, the health and the quality of the opponents is the third thing I wrote down, where it's just like the Wolves by themselves, probably a better defense than anyone the Celtics played.
Who do they play? The Pacers? The Cavs?
Prior to the finals, the Mavs were a very good defense. I'll give them that. The Mavs were a good defense, but so they play the Heat with no Jimmy Butler, I believe.
Oh, yeah.
And we were like, there's no way the Heat will win a game, and then they hit 40
What are they going to
threes.
do? Hit a historic amount of threes? Oh, shoot.
Oh, crap. Then they played the Cavs with essentially just Donovan Mitchell and Evan Mobley. Jared Allen was getting rib injections and stuff.
Oh, he was being soft. Yeah.
Yeah. He didn't want to collapse the lung.
Literal baby stuff is what he was on.
Yeah.
He was, wah. That was him.
And then they play the Pacers with, Halliburton's back was confirmed to be a thing. I don't want to, like, give him, an out for maybe just playing Halliburton and him not playing well. But it was definitely, even if you have Halliburton there, the Celtics are a better team.
Hey, but it was close every game.
It was. So, hey, maybe I'm tweaking. Maybe if they have superstar Halliburton, maybe the Pacers swing a couple of those games. Whereas, this Thunder team smoking a Grizzlies team that, like, even though in history no one will remember it as such, it was a pretty good team. It was fine. Even though they were bad for the, like, final third of the season. And then they go 7 with the Nuggets. They get to beat the best player in the world, and the Nuggets were, like, a very talented team or whatever, through all the injuries and stuff. And then they smoked this Wolves team that, like, while I didn't expect the Wolves to beat them, the Wolves were good. They were a good basketball team. And so, I don't know. I just feel like all that kind of culminated in people feeling so differently about the 2 runs by the 2 players.
So scrolling through the lobby circle, we have a lot of general stuff. This will be good next episode. If we don't get to your question,
hey, let's kill 8 minutes here, and we'll do some tomorrow too.
We'll listen to this from Gutty. Hello, fellas. This is a call from the State of the League Discord that we have important census information for you guys. First, we have a survey for people to give their thoughts on what their favorite team should do in the draft. If Jacques, Jackues, that's you, I think,
okay, all right,
would be so kind to post the link in the Patreon, then you guys could use it.
I like how they think you don't have access.
I don't have access. I'm like Jared Allen. I'm like,
my ribs hurt. I can't do that.
Then you guys could use it in a couple months when you have nothing to talk about. And much more importantly, we asked which NBA team is the prettiest, and the Sixers won. Also, more than half the Discord likes boys. Gay!
hey, I got to get in this Discord.
Or maybe, are there chicks in there? Nah, let's be real.
Let's be real. Riley, shut up.
What's it called? Yeah.
Uh-huh.
So we.
Yeah.
I'm the Mormon muffler. Hello,
Oh, okay.
Pajork and Jork. Riz tip for lady picking upping, as the hip kids say. Enough basketball talk. We'll talk next episode, maybe. Let's see. Okay, we got a new lobbyist. Armand House. Hey, new here. Welcome to the show.
What up?
But an overall Clippers question. Do you think the Clippers can be serious contenders next year, or do you think they're just stuck in a tough out category? Sorry if it doesn't make sense. I'm on my break from teaching second grade, so my brain is a little fried. Hashtag Sigma.
Whoa.
That's such a weird question that you asked, dude. That doesn't make sense.
Second
That's
grade?
cringe.
They probably
No.
all think you're so dumb. They're probably all in there being like, Mr. Johnson
Mr. House.
he gets Mr. $40,000 a year, and he gives it to these idiots online. No. First of all, shout out to teachers of an extremely important profession, and you guys need to do a better job because the kids can't read nowadays. So that's a little concerning. But
we need to give all these teachers guns in the schools, right? So they can fight off a shooter.
yeah, pistol whip a kid when he messes up popcorn reading.
Okay, I was thinking school shooter situation. You're thinking.
Well, I'm thinking everywhere. You know.
The pop and popcorn reading, that kind of.
See,
pop.
this is where the waste. This is where Doge comes in. It's because you're giving teachers guns for one reason, and it's like teachers could use these guns for so many things.
Do you think there's any teacher out there who's like, first day, he's like, so like, this is like Kevin O'Connor as a teacher? Which, by the way, did you see Kevin O'Connor following a racist lady?
Whoa!
I don't know if that's
so surprising.
I don't know if that showed up. It showed up on my For You page. It was like, this guy posted screenshots. He said every time, and it was like a tweet from this woman about like, just got in my Uber, another immigrant driver.
Oh, that lady. Okay, yeah.
And then it was like followed by Kevin O'Connor. It's crazy.
Fuck. What did they? The car. It was something so innocuous. I think they said no hablo inglés. And
Yeah.
It was like, I mean, you would have thought. He turned around. He's like, "I'm in MS-13, lady. So please don't talk to me, or I'll fucking kill you." Yeah. So Kevin O'Connor, he loves that kind of stuff.
But do you think there's any teachers like, I have a unique grading system where I'm introducing A coin, B coin, C coin, D coin, F coin.
Whoa.
So you guys are going to need to invest, right, if you want the right coin. And maybe C coin maybe go to the moon. I don't know. I need to structure your class. I actually had an economics class that wasn't entirely a game, sort of like that. And like everyone
Cool.
had jobs. But the teacher, he was very odd. He was kind of mean. Like for example, I had a friend who had to go to a different country before final exams, for like family trip, and
You fail.
he was like, "Can I take the final early?" And he's like, "No." You're just done for. You're just screwed. He didn't fail, but still. And this guy was very mean. I'm pretty sure he didn't know my name like the entire semester long. And he's just a very impersonal guy. He would talk about pizza puffs a lot. It was crazy. But yeah, that class was structured like that. It was a fun-ish class, but also I finished at the bottom because I wasn't motivated.
I failed I had to retake an economics class.
Really? Did you do summer school or no?
No, I just took it. I went to one school, and then I was not paying enough attention. I was doing extracurricular stuff, and so I transferred.
You were online arguing about Duncan's legacy.
Yeah, but I would get really high, and then I'd do that for like 8 hours.
Okay.
And I'm honestly, pretty sick time, but you can't unsustainable. And so I went and I transferred, and I took the economics class again sober, and I was like, holy fuck, I hate this, but I got a C and I passed.
In high school, I only ever failed one class. It was math. It was
I never failed a single.
It was
class.
algebra
High school,
2.
Easy.
I failed a semester. I had to go to summer school once for a semester of algebra 2. In college, did I fail? I usually was like, I usually pulled out before I failed. So.
Yeah, summer school is low key the move in college. Like if you just take a class
Yeah.
in summer, usually it's easier and it's done quicker. Like it's like a 5-week thing. And so, yeah, if you're in college, I would recommend doing that. Clippers. Is that what this question is about?
Do you think they could be serious contenders, or do you think they're stuck in a tough out? You're truly in Kawhi prison. Like, it all depends on what is he going to play next year in the regular season. If he tears something like you'll find out early on. If he tears ACL and in December, you're done. But if it's like in and out constantly with little stuff, it really just depends on him. And then I guess how much more room for variables on that roster? Harden, you assume he continues downward trend a little bit.
Yeah.
Norm Powell was incredible last season, but kind of an outlier season for him. So maybe he's is he late 20s? He probably is, right?
Yeah, I believe so.
And then I don't know. Yeah, Zubats is still in his prime and is still great.
I think heading into next season, there's a world where they you could tell me they make a run.
Well,
I do feel like
let's think about like right now if they were on the other side of the bracket. Who would
say they got Houston first round?
I think they beat Houston.
Okay, let's assume they beat Houston. Then they get the Warriors next round.
Well, no, the Warriors was first round for Houston.
Oh wait, they're in the place of the Warriors. Okay, who they get the Wolves?
Yeah,
next
Wolves
round?
next round. They could.
I think
they could beat the Wolves. I probably do pick the Wolves over them, but it would be competitive. I think for sure.
Yeah. I really do think they could beat anybody besides OKC.
Yeah.
Like they could have beat if Aaron Gordon doesn't make that last second dunk,
sure.
They could have beat the Nuggets. They could beat the Wolves. They could beat the Lakers. They could beat the Warriors. Like this was a really good team. It's just the Thunder. They make it like not a real NBA type thing. So I would say a lot of the West is kind of like, hey, if we could get Denver to beat OKC, shit's wide open for us. But as far as like
kind of like Minnesota beating Denver the last year.
Truly, that's exactly what it's like. Where it's like we don't have they have the answer. No one else does. So, like, that's what we need to have happen.
Yeah. And then the Clippers, they do have the 30th pick. So maybe that'll be something. Let's see. Who does Tankathon have them taking with the 30th pick? Johnny Broom?
Hanson Yang.
Come on.
Guys, come on. You cannot
add Johnny
a guy
Broom?
No.
Oh.
You cannot add a guy named Johnny Broom to your roster and expect to do well. It's just not going to happen.
I thought you knew him because he got a lot of attention for like his horrific combine testing numbers. He tested with like a 24-inch vertical or something like that.
Is this the guy who had a smaller vertical than like the lineman in the NFL?
Yeah, that's it.
Okay, I've seen that guy, yeah.
And then they turned it into like, this is why NFL athletes are better. It's like, guys, this guy's probably not going to make the NBA. But yeah, do the Clippers have any second round picks here? They do. They have a 51. Okay, so maybe we have a little bit of maneuverability, but yeah. It really just all comes down to Kawhi. So we'll see.
Yeah. All right. Do you want to do one more, or you want to call it?
Let me see if I could find one more good one about
a brief one
about this game.
I just got a cool tweet. Let me go find it. On this day in 2021, Kevin Durant, the Nets beat the Celtics 141-126. Kevin Durant had 42 points. Kyrie had 39 points and 11 rebounds. And James Harden had 23 points and 18 assists.
What a time.
That was such a cool for a second. Before COVID, oh my god. Was that even before, or that was before the vaccine. Yeah, it was post COVID, but the vaccine is what it was, the wedge kind of.
Wait, which year? Well, Kyrie got in trouble with the vaccine.
That's what I'm saying.
Okay.
This was in 2021, and so this was like the only year. James Harden's gone after that, and then yeah, Kyrie's like, I'm not doing it. And lib Eric Adams was like, well, you're not playing then.
Okay, I'll just read this one, and then yeah, we'll get to a lot of these tomorrow. Gay Mike, first time lobbyist.
Okay.
Fuck, it's hard to comment on mobile. I don't have a question, just saying hi from maybe the only Irish lobbyist. Definitely the first gay Irish. Parentheses. Dia Dut agus Pog Motan. I definitely didn't say that right.
What does that mean? You speak Gaelic?
Well, it's just been so long, you know. I forgot.
Rattling over the bugs.
Well, what is? Never mind. I forgot what I was thinking. But yeah, you're actually not our only. You're not number one. We just found out you're not the only gay guy. that's the majority.
You're a dime a dozen.
Yeah, you're
pal.
nothing. But be different. Be straight. It's a dying culture. You're not brave like us. And you're not Irish. We have another Irish. We have at least one other Irish guy.
Although it is almost Pride Month, so we can't. So this is the last day, and then next month we're gonna be very nice.
Shoot.
So get whatever you want to get in now. You should have said that Cooper Flag thing.
Oh yeah, I could say it. Well, are we sure? Like, is Pride Month safe? So, Trump can
do.
Trump can. Trump.
Are we gonna get canceled for being nice during June?
Like, are we just gonna take away June or are we gonna take away Pride Month? Because if Trump can ban foreign students from going to colleges, surely he could get Pride Month off the calendar.
He can't ban the pride in my heart.
Yeah, but if it's on...
Fuck is he gonna do?
What if it's off your calendar?
Well, then I'll just start a 30-day period at a random point every year.
At a random point?
Yeah, I'll January 1st every year. I'll I'll do a random date generator, and it'll be like, July 14th, and so then July 14th through August 14th. That's Pride Month.
What would be the worst Pride? Definitely just January or February.
Yeah, you get like January 26th, and it's just like, it's just like cold and just slush everywhere.
Oh my God. Sorry, gays, if that's what you get.
Well, no, they have June now, so they could be happy,
they have June now. But some of them are in like Arkansas, and they're like, God, I wish it was in January or something. It's like 95 and humid here.
Oh, is that your default hot state? Is Arkansas?
It's one of them. Because
for me, it's Louisiana. That's the hottest place in the world.
They're pretty close now.
I mean, kind of.
Nah, they're all.
I don't think
they're all down there.
I don't think they're all the same. I don't think the ecosystem's the same. A hot swamp, it's just unlivable.
True Detective's new season with McConaughey and Woody Harrelson, but they team back up to investigate Zion's crimes.
That would be pretty short, I feel like, because unless it's connected to the Yellow King or something.
I can't believe he did this.
It is really sad. Yeah. If it's true,
fuck
Zion Williamson. I support the victim and everything.
Will he be your greatest basketball what if ever? Is it?
No, absolutely not.
Yeah, because there are the Kawhi. Kawhi's still better, yeah.
It's like, because you could still tell me, even if he wasn't a sex criminal and even if he wasn't, like fat or whatever.
Such a great imagine just that, like, you cut from 2019 draft conversation. This guy has a chance to be one of the greatest players in the history of the game. He's the most powerful wing athlete I've ever seen.
He just blew out his shoe making a back cut.
He's the most famous college basketball player in the country. Everyone knows his name. He's the heir apparent to Zion. Yeah, so putting aside the past sex criminal fat thing.
Yeah. I mean, God, it's so sad. But even said, like, if you told me they just built a wall, or like he couldn't score as well against the Thunder defense or something, that'd be fine. But like Prime Kawhi, I've seen him be a top 3 player on the planet. I've seen it. I know what it is, dude. So the only one I entertain with Kawhi is like, you could make a similar case for Bill Walton for me, where it's like we got that 1 year, where he was just literally like kind of Kareem and then nothing else. And so if you wanted to extrapolate that, sure.
And then there's
that's what-
more Magic and more Bird.
Yeah. Okay, this car's honking outside.
Penny's the
so
greatest injury what if. I'll tell you that much.
They don't agree. David Robinson, take it away.
Up tempo means I'm gonna run you into the ground.